Recording to the cloud. Okay, for the folks who aren't here on the leads check-in call, Eric is a new chapter lead in the Savannah, Georgia chapter and is seeking to understand how existing and seasoned chapter leads have gone about marketing and promoting not just their chapter, but their other events and how to get people to join the community. So opening this up to the rest of the squad here.
I can go first. So my name is Stephanie. I am a co-lead for the Houston chapter. Um, I think one of the things, I guess I should say when our chapter was founded. It was founded in, what are we into? Maybe 2002. Don't quote me on that, but I think it was 2002.
2022.
So yes, that's what I meant. Yes, that's what I meant. 2022, lots of twos. I think what's been interesting and also somewhat challenging for me is really learning the landscape of the city that I'm in. So in Houston. So when I founded the chapter, I had to be I felt like I was going in blindly. And even now I still, as I'm networking more in the community, I still haven't quite put my finger on what exactly is the Houston community and what exactly does the Houston community need in terms of the work that we're doing. And so my co-lead who is on this call, Tamika, we've had conversations around that. Like we can nerd out by each other all day about the cool events that we think people would want to see or want to partake in. But at the end of the day, if it's not what our community wants, then, how is that then going to impact our turnout? But I think the back piece of that is consistency, right? Like, I've been at it for a while now, but I think the point is that we keep showing up, and the more that we keep showing up, the people who are in our community are like, oh, this isn't just like a gimmick, or it's not just like a cute phase that someone wanted to make a group kind of thing. Like these people are out here, keeping us abreast of, new conversations, helping us connect in unique ways that we don't typically get in these professional settings. So, I think as you're forming and building your community, that patience and that consistency is going to be key.
Awesome. Actually, I would love to know, since you guys are both in here, I would love to know, did you find it difficult starting like a chapter? Did you find it like difficult to like truly explain the heart of, what Culture First is going to be doing? And was it like difficult to do? Was there like a good learning curve or?
And I'll let Stephanie speak to that because I came later. Stephanie launched the chapter here in Houston, and then I came in last fall. So I'll let Stephanie take the reins on that.
Honestly, no. In my opinion, I feel like I'm really nerdy about this and I get really passionate. So when people have that, I know what it is that we do. I actually have to kind of reel myself in and not word vomit all over them, to tell them like all the cool things that are going on, either in my local chapter or on a global chapter level. I think in that same vein, though, being clear and concise about, you're essentially kind of having an elevator pitch for Culture First. So if you have an interested member, not word vomiting all over them and overwhelming them with information, telling them like, oh yeah, this is what we do. Visit this website. This is an event that we have coming up. And so, creating that hook without overwhelming them. Any other chapters want to jump in on that?
I would say definitely leverage the wiki. It has information, particularly if you're going to be launching your first chapter, your first event, getting familiar with the cadence of how we start our meetings and the phases throughout those meetings. I find that was one of the things I found very refreshing when I first started attending Culture First events, even before becoming a chapter lead. think, in my opinion, it's always refreshing. It's refreshing to people who attend those events for the first time and see how it's so different than just going to a typical networking event, or how just the grounding exercises we do in the beginning really kind of helps people be present. And it really something so simple that really stands out. So there's a lot of tools and resources in there. I know Jess says that they're going to be revamping a lot of information, but it can be super helpful.
Excellent. Thank you. That's great advice. Yeah, because I think for me, dealing with people is not an issue. I'm a very big people person, and I love when I meet people. I love to kind of get down to the root of who they are, which helps me kind of help them. And that goes to my training development, experience and education. I like to learn about people first to try to help them develop to be a better person. So I think that advice there is great for me because I'm so new to Culture First and to all these chapter leads. Starting a meeting and trying to get that flow is what is going to be my biggest learning curve, I think. But luckily I learned quick, so that's great advice. Thank you.
I want to hear from Sarah and Jess too. I know both of you have been at this for a while. Madison's had a really strong year and some change too. I know you all just had your first anniversary not too fairly recently. So wanting to create space for both of you to share your experience and expertise as community managers too with Eric.
Jess, you look frozen.
Can you hear
We
me?
got you now, Jess. Go on. Yep.
Okay. I would say that for me, when I stepped into it, it was 2020 when my chapter, Orange County, first tried to get off the ground. And so then it got held up. And then when we kind of relaunched, it was really, really difficult. I think what helped us have success was creating a cadence. And so I don't know if it was Stephanie or Tamika that said consistency. I think that we came up with a in-person and then virtual off and on every month. And so we have what we do now, and it's been very successful, is what we call a people and culture leadership roundtable. And so we bring people to a location, sit around in a, not a kumbaya circle, but we sit around in a U shape or something like that. And we address challenges. We have a whole, and you can look on our page if you want, but we have a whole process with a survey that gets feedback on what they want to talk about. And then we have that as our main topic. And then we kind of whiteboard what that means to them in the session, and then go around and do peer sharing. And that has been really successful for in-person. And then the next month we might do a virtual webinar or gathering using one of the the available speakers on the wiki, or somebody that we've met somewhere else. And then we have about once a quarter, we have a social. And the socials help drive the attendance for the other events, because people, the thing that we keep hearing is when people come to the socials, they're like, these are my people. I love the conversations that I'm having with these people. And so that kind of builds the community. And then we kind of bring them into the other events. I will say our virtual events have the lowest attendance probably of all of our events. The roundtables are really successful, and the socials are probably the biggest. And in terms of how to get people there, we have really built out our leadership team this year. And so it's hard, Eric, I don't know if you're solo or if you got a co-lead, but it's hard to do it by yourself. There's a lot of work that goes into it. And the more people that you can kind of bring along, the better, I think. And we got a lot of people interested at a social. We just said, here's what we're about. If anybody wants to be a part of this, let us know. We need help all the time, whether it's official help or non-official help, getting the word out. Literally anybody here can be a support to the chapter just by getting the word out. Share the event on LinkedIn. But those that wanted to kind of dive deeper, and we actually host our own bi-weekly Orange County leadership call. So our co-leads get together roughly every other week. It also happens to be Fridays at 9, which is why sometimes I can't always be here. But that way we're making plans and we're staying ahead of things, and people are owning certain tasks, and it makes it so much easier. So it's almost like creating like a little mini business inside of your chapter and like making sure things flow. But the biggest thing that has gotten people to come to our events is individual outreach. Hi, Eric, I see that you're in this field. I think that you would love to come. Here are some of the other people that are going to be there. Join us. And that individual outreach has been really great. We've even gone as far to have like a couple of us have marketing teams, and we will tap the team in the shoulder of our marketing teams and say, hey, can you make some cold calls or cold outreach and like invite these people to our events? So we're fortunate to have access to some of that. But it is really, really bolstered the chapter. And Jesse, I don't know what our numbers look like lately, like officially, because I just kind of like gauge based on how it feels, but it feels like it's been really working well. We're maxing out our roundtables because we don't want them to be too big. So it feels good. So we're taking a little bit of a hiatus this month. Or I'm sorry, what is it? Yeah, June. And we'll end July, and then we'll kind of kick back up. But everybody kind of knows, we've shared with them what the plans are, and we'll kick back our normal cadence in August. So those are my tips. And it's so great to see you. I'm gonna pop off in like a minute here to go inside, but
Thank you for that advice.
Thanks, Jess. Thanks, Jess. So good to see you. All right, I know we only have a couple minutes left. Sarah, I want to give you a moment to share as well.
I think everything that everyone shared was really helpful. I +1 all of that. And I guess it's almost like Culture First is like a tea. And like when you first join as like a lead, like you get your first little dip, and then you have to like kind of like dip in and out and like come to the different events to like get stronger and like be like in the tea, and then you can like add lemon or milk or like your little twist to it. Like maybe, I don't know. That was what was coming to mind. But so what I'm trying to say is come to the leads calls. You'll get a sense of the culture of like us as leads, and then also come to other events and check it out and see how it goes, get the flow, you'll get it down. And then I would also say rely on us. Like we all had to like figure this out, and like don't reinvent the wheel. Like there are so many awesome people in this community willing to share their knowledges and tips and whatnot, and you'll discover them like as you meet them. But yeah, we're super like open and willing to share like how to be successful. So don't be afraid to ask a question in the chat, co-host an event with some others. And then, yeah, I think like lean into in-person. Like I know it's hard when you're first getting started, but everyone's like craving in person. And I think that's like a huge way to set yourself apart. You're not just gonna be like another like webinar. I don't know, at least that's like what we've been getting from our chapters. Like we have done like 50-50 in person, virtual, and it's just the in-person just seems to be way better. So I think we're gonna lean really heavily into that next year, even if it's informal, like just get coffee and chat about certain things. Yeah, and that's what I also wanted to say is like it's gonna be small in the beginning, and like that's okay. It's about quality over quantity, and like if you do it well and you have good conversations, they're gonna want to bring others to the table. So yeah, put yourself out there.
Thank you. I said that's actually great advice, and it actually helps me out, especially even just the little like grabbing coffee. If I could just find a small community that's willing to meet up for coffee and learn about Culture First and just even talk about each other and learn about each other, I think that's a great way. I'll just make it quick, but that was one of my like big things about these events. And I'm like, oh my gosh, how am I going to I'm doing all this by myself. So I'm like, how am I? But like, you're right. I need to lean on everyone that has already done this. And I definitely will. I want to network with everyone. So I will for sure be in touch.
That was so awesome. Thank you so much for Eric, the vulnerability and the just showing up today, and for the others for sharing your words of wisdom. So freaking helpful. I'm glad I recorded this. All right, I'm gonna pause here.